students. This is Lauren from Chicago Metro History Day, and today I'm going to show you how to register for your History Day projects for our contests in March. Please, 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 more than anything else, remember that our contest deadline for registration is March 3rd at 5 p.m. Our system is going to lock everything at 5 p.m. You won't be able to add any materials to your project. You won't be able to edit your project after that time. So write it down, March 3rd, 5 p.m. Make sure that you've registered before then, and make sure that you register as early as possible so that you have time to troubleshoot before the deadline. This year, as you can see here, with all of these different dates going on, we are having 2 in-person contests. Our junior division contest is on March 12th at the Chicago History Museum, and our senior division contest is Wednesday, March 16th at the University of Illinois at Chicago. Both of those in-person events will require every person in attendance, whether it's students, teachers, guests, visitors, anyone over 5 years old, to show proof of vaccination against COVID. And for those of you who are 16 years and older, you'll have to show a photo ID along with that proof of vaccination. In this case, for those of you 16 and older, a school ID is perfectly acceptable. In terms of ID, it could be a driver's license, whatever, but school ID is good enough. For those of you participating in our virtual History Day, that is going to happen between March 18th and 25th, the judging, but you still have to make sure to have registered by March 3rd. We're going to have our virtual awards ceremony on Monday, March 28th, and that's when we'll also be announcing which projects have advanced to the state level. Okay, so basically, welcome to our system here. This is a system called Z-Fairs. It's what we use to manage everyone who's signing up, whether it's teachers registering, judges, students, everybody. And so we're going to go through and learn how to register for Chicago Metro History Day as a student. We're going to go here, we're going to create a student. And this is where we see different information for if you are a student advancing from your school's History Day. You're going to see that your school will have already sent us at the History Day office a list of student names. So you'll sort of be pre-approved to register, and when you create a profile here in Z-Fairs, someone like me at our office will double check that it matches the list your school has given us and that you are actually clear to participate in the contest. If your school does not participate in History Day and you are here as an independent scholar, fantastic. Please be sure that you've sent your registration fee to the History Day office with the address here at the Chicago History Museum. And we'll get into this when we go register, but if you are an independent scholar, you'll just choose independent scholar from the school list, and you'll have to choose me as your teacher, just as a technicality. So what we're going to do is we're going to come through and we're going to create a fake account because I am not a student and I haven't done a project, but we want to find out how. I'm going to create an account for my cat because why not? We're going to do Iris, cat. Her name is Iris. She is my cat. And we'll give her my email address. Now, this is also the email address, or one of the email addresses, that you can use to contact us if you have problems registering. That's mally@chicagohistory.org. Takes you directly to my inbox if you are having any issues. But enter your information here. Choose whatever username you want, but please know that you won't be able to change it later. So write down your username, and pretty important point here, please try not to use a school email address here, especially if you are a junior division student. It is really hard for us to contact junior division students who give us their school emails because your emails filter out external communications. So anything I send you bounces right back and says can't be delivered. So please, please, please use a personal email here if you can. Use a parent's email here if you can. Really just try to avoid those school email addresses. So we'll click Save and Continue, and that'll bring you to the next page, which asks for more personal information. just for communication purposes. It'll come preloaded with the username that you selected on the last page, and please, please, please don't change your username here because that'll confuse the system and make it angry, and I am a historian, not a tech guru, so I won't be able to fix it. So once you've picked your username, stick with it. It comes with the other information. You can add your phone here, and this is just in case there are problems. If you have perhaps used a school email address and we can't contact you, we might have to contact you by phone just to say, hey, where should we be sending your communications? You can come pick a password, whatever you want. I was trying to think earlier about passwords that my cat would choose. Let's see if I can make it the same. That looks about the same. Okay. And we also ask for a parent or guardian's information. It's not absolutely essential that you give us this information. It is really helpful in case for any reason our emails aren't going through to you, or maybe your project has advanced to state and we want your parent or guardian to know more information about what that means for you and your opportunities that come with going to state. You're welcome to add your parents' information here in their phone. And it would be great if you did, but it's not required. And again, down here with the address, really isn't technically required. This is one of those questions that we are required to ask you, but we don't actually require you to tell us. You're welcome to put NA, not applicable here. That's perfectly fine. If you do want to send us your address, that's fantastic also. Typically, we would use this to send you any sort of contest material or awards. Usually we'd send that to your school, but with this year and everything being so iffy and half virtual, half in person, sometimes it's easier to send things directly to the student, only contest related stuff. If you want to do that, you can. If you just want to fill it with NA, that's also fantastic. Okay. Again, if you are attending one of our in-person contests, whether it's March 12th or March 16th, you will have to show proof of vaccination at the door to be let into the building, to be let into the contest that you are participating in. That goes for any family members that are coming with you if they're over the age of 5. It goes for judges, teachers, organizers like me. Everyone will have to show proof of vaccination. There is no exemption for school students. In case you just so happen to forget your proof of vaccination on the day, you can upload it here in ZFairs. Please do not rely on this as the only method of bringing proof of vaccination, but if for whatever reason it gets left at home, we will be able to pull it up and show that you have been vaccinated. Again, if you're 16 or older, you will also have to show a photo ID with that proof of vaccination. So we'll move on. And here we go. Iris the cat is ready for History Day. Here are some additional questions that we have. And we want to know if you've advanced from a participating school or if you're an independent scholar. Pick whichever one is relevant to you. This next question is really important for us for planning purposes. We want to know if you are attending our in-person contests or if you are attending our virtual contests. Now, we understand that things change. For sure, it happens, especially with COVID going on. We understand that you might have to change from in-person to virtual, and that will be rather easy to accommodate. However, you will not be able to change from virtual to in-person. If you decide March 8th that actually you do want to come to the contests in person, we won't be able to accommodate for that. So please, please, please plan ahead. Think about which contest is the best fit for you. If you will be in person or virtual for junior division or senior division. I'll go with in person because I will be there that day. Okay. These next couple of questions are completely optional. When it comes to this question about racial or ethnic background, that's just basically for me, it's data for me to analyze over the summer when I have nothing else going on to see that are we actually reaching a really wide variety of students for History Day? And if we are falling short, then where? You definitely don't have to fill this out if you don't want to. If you'd like to, it will be helpful to us, but your judges aren't going to see this information. No one at the contest is going to see this information. This is just for like, I don't know, July when I'm bored and have nothing else to do. If you have participated in History Day or not before, again, more data for me to analyze over the summer. How many sort of repeat students are we getting, or are we getting a lot of new students in History Day? If you do need any accommodations at all for the History Day contests, please, please, please let us know here. You can email me. Or you can email, History Day at chicagohistory.org. Either of these emails will bring you to someone who will be able to let you know about these accommodations and what exactly we can do for you, and how we can best meet your needs. If you have any fun stories from your History Day contest experience or the research or anything surprising or interesting that you stumbled across, let us know. I love hearing fun stories like this, so fill me in, give me something to read and procrastinate with someday. And then if you think that there's any supports or tools that would be helpful to future History Day students, you can let us know here. This box, by checking this, it's basically just saying I've read the small print, and it's not really small print, it's bolded, but I've read the legal print. I understand that all these typical things, it's like, your typical legal stuff. You do have to check this box to move on, so please make sure that you actually read this box and don't just skim through it like I am now. Read it for yourselves. Okay. Now, here is where this gets interesting. We have two options. What I'm going to do first is I'm going to go over how to start a new entry, and that will be if you are a student participating as an individual in the contests, or if you are a member of a group, but you are the first member of the group to register your project. If you are a part of a group and you've already had a group member register in ZFairs, you will choose this option over here, the link to existing entry. And at the very end of this video, I'm going to go over how to do that. But for now, we are going to pretend that Iris the cat is an individual student, or maybe she is the first member of a group to register the project. So we'll click Start, and we'll go to School. And I believe, if I recall, the cat was an independent scholar. So we're going to go down, and we're going to go. Helps to remember the alphabet in times like this. This is all the schools in Illinois, so there's quite a few of them. Independent, it's gotta be around where? Independent scholar. Ha! There we go. And the cat's teacher is me. Basically, if you're a student who is coming from a participating school, your teachers' names will be preloaded in here, and you'll get to choose the teacher who you've been working with. I am just the default option for the independent scholars. If you've been working with more than one teacher at your school on your History Day projects, you can choose their names in these other additional drop-down menus. And then please also let us know your grade. Again, data. We like data. We like numbers. Let's save and continue. Okay. This is where your project information starts to come in. We ask right now for your title, the title of your project, its category, whether it's part of a team. So we will say, I don't know, what did the cat do? Pandemic practices, houseplants, sourdough, and pet adoptions. Houseplants, sourdough, pet adoptions, and the evolution of American culture. This is probably a good time to note that you really should not do a History Day project, on something that happened within the last couple of years. We won't be able to tell the historical significance, but this is the first thing that came to mind. And I said house pants instead of house plants. I guess that's accurate too, though, honestly. But I was thinking more like fiddle leaf figs. Let's go. Which do we want to select? We'll go, I don't know, you could pick whichever one is accurate for your project. We are going to say that the cat is doing a group exhibit. And regardless of what you pick, relevant information will pop down. So I could have picked individual website and specific instructions for how to work with your website in this system, how to upload your information or any relevant details. It will come up. So it doesn't matter what you pick. Make sure that you read the specifics after you have chosen your type, your project type. But the cat is doing a group exhibit because I helped her with it. So we'll do team project, yes. And this next box is really only for those of you who are doing exhibits. If you require access to an electrical outlet for whatever it is that you have on exhibit, that is fine. Just please let us know ahead of time. We start really planning out the spaces and layouts for things early on. And the earlier we know this information, the better. But the cat doesn't need an electrical outlet. That sounds dangerous. You will be able to add all of your written materials here, no matter which format your project is in. Your written materials have to be in a single PDF. And so in our registration instructions, you will be able to find more information on how to combine PDFs if you have to. And it's also important to note that you can register your project, like we're going to do right now, without necessarily adding the material, as long as you come back later before the deadline of March 3rd and add the material then. So I do not have the cat's papers. I don't have her process paper. I don't have her annotated bibliography. I can't upload that yet. So we're not going to upload it right now. If you have a link to your project, maybe it's a documentary or a virtual performance or something like that, you can add the link to access your project here. And there it's important to note that this really has to be set to make it publicly viewable. It's not that the general public will have access to it, but basically anyone with the link should be able to view your project. Not just people at school, not just people you share it with. Anyone with this link needs to be able to view your project. Because especially if you're competing virtually, we don't know where your judges are at, and the troubleshooting process becomes a lot more difficult if we can't access your project. So please, please, please make it accessible to the public, or just shareable so that people beyond your school can see it. But again, I don't have the cat's project link here either, so we'll just save and continue and come back to it later after she's finished all that work. Okay. This is another sort of read the fine print kind of page. This is saying that, like, yes, I agree, I've followed all of the contest rules. This one is saying I'm not going to hold National History Day responsible if someone trips and crashes into my exhibit and ruins all my hard academic work and whatnot. This one is saying down here, yes, I agree to potentially appear in photographs of the event, or that, if there's a photographer there taking events, that I'm not going to hide behind a table. If you do not want to be in any photographs, that's fine. You'll check no. You're allowed to provide an explanation if you'd like. I'm just going to choose yes because it's easier than providing an explanation. Why not? And I'm going to save and continue. I went through all that really quickly. Be sure to actually read all of that on your own and make sure what it is you are agreeing to when you check the boxes. Okay, this is fantastic because you're not actually done creating your account until you see the account created for page. If you aren't brought to this screen, it means your account doesn't exist. And that notification you may have just heard was my computer telling me that Iris has an account all ready to go. So this is great. If you haven't uploaded your work, You can use your login information, your username, your password, to go back into the account and do that. Anytime, again, before March 3rd. Keep in mind it ends at 5 p.m. You won't be able to access it after that. And you should be good to go. Now, if you are a member of a team and someone else has registered already, if you're a member of a group and someone has registered already, there's a little bit more to the story. There's a slightly different way to go about registering. But if you're just an individual or you're the first person in a group, this is really all you have to do to register. Okay, so now we see the team information here. We see the project key. We can also see the project key here. This is really important because if you remember, back on that one screen where it asked, do we want to create a new entry or do we want to link to an existing entry? This project key is what we use to link to the existing entry. So what I'll do is I will copy this and try to keep it somewhere safe, or not safe, but just not lost. And if you are not the first member of the team to register, your first person who registered can even just send you this URL to register for History Day. So we can click on over here, and it brings you again to the registration page. So you can either use this distinct URL or you can copy paste the project key when it asks for it. Okay, so what do we want to do? We will create a new person, a new teammate. Let's see, we'll go Abby. The horse is teammate number 2. Her name is Abby. She is mine. And we'll again give her my email address. And we shall continue. Again, all this information, great to know. I don't remember what I just typed. Okay, parent, guardian, name, information, all of this is the same as what we went through earlier in the video. I guess instead of going NA, I should just go NA, huh? Okay, that's not funny. Let's go. And I guess she's Illinois. It's Chicago Metro History Day. Proof of vaccination. She's got vaccinations, but not against COVID, so she'll have to be virtual. Oh no, the password. Does that match? Yeah, I hope so. Okay, here we go. Here's where you could pick if you're an independent scholar again or coming from a participating school. We'll go in person. All of this stuff, save and continue. Oh, I forgot to click the box. Click the box. Okay, and because we used the link from our teammate, this is where the generated project information comes in. So we can just select this project. We could use, if we wanted to, we could copy and paste the project key from that last page in, or because we used the special sort of sign up link from our groupmate, it's already got it here. So we can just click it here. And this is great. We have independent scholars, or if you have a school, your school information, your teacher information, your grade, keep going. And one particular thing to note about group projects is that only one person actually has to upload the information. You don't have to all upload it separately. What you can do is just upload it, have one person do it. Do not make the mistake of thinking that your group mate is going to be the one to upload the information, that you don't have to do anything. You should all very actively make sure that your project information and materials exist in ZFairs before the deadline of March 3rd, but you don't all have to upload it separately. It can just be one person doing it in one person's account, but you should all be contributing. Okay, we'll save and continue because this project isn't finished yet, but we will go back before the registration deadline and upload all of our materials. And here we go. We're done. Account created for Abby. This means the account exists. Our project key is here again. If we need to forward that to any third or fourth group members, we could also send our third or fourth group members this special registration link, which will pre-generate the project information, pandemic practices, and this is how we register for History Day. Let's see, you don't want to email the horse, but you can email me at maly@chicagohistory.org, and that is going to bring you directly to me, and I'll be able to help you with any registration problems you come across. Congratulations, all of you, on your History Day projects, and I wish you all the very best of luck at our contests in March.